Hello, boys and girls from afar, and welcome back to the Trent and Zyori podcast. This is podcast number 147, just a couple away from that 150 mark. March 27th, 11:30 a.m. here Mountain Time. Bud, this marks 3 in a row, 3 Mondays. We have sniped it just about the same time. We're getting into a schedule. That's how old we're getting here. We're getting regular.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, actually. Goodness.
Where have we gone? Wow. So last week was the Game of Thrones finale. This week we are going to be talking pretty much exclusively about Dota. So we're right back with it. We've got a minor to talk about. We've got a major to talk about. And we've got a big DPC or non-DPC event in ESL Birmingham also to talk about. And, of course, this new patch. That's going to be the second half of all of our dialogue here, 7.22. The Aghanim Scepter patch, as you could call it. A lot of exciting changes for us to digest there. So this is going to be another good one here, Trent, my friend.
Yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll, dude. It's been good. Speaking of feeling young, I stayed up all night to adjust because we're going to be casting all of next week for China and Southeast Asia, which I'm looking forward to. That starts in like under 12 hours, I think, right?
Yeah.
We kick that thing off.
Yes.
Yes.
No, 24 hours.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's good to know.
I think
so. Are you
so.
sure?
We should
I don't
double
think
check.
You're right, buddy. I think it starts at about under 12 hours.
Does it start tonight? I'm pretty sure it starts tomorrow night, unless I've totally misread. Is there a time zone conversion that I missed?
Well, I noticed that one of the dates has the day before. That's where I got confused, at least. It says the 27th on the thing from Sunsfan, if you take note.
I thought that was... Oh, shit.
Oh, this is good.
Oh, maybe I misread it, dude. Are we casting tonight?
I believe we are, because if you look at the schedule, it's Monday the 27th. Today it begins with the South American games of BSJ and Draskell. If you guys want to catch those later, those will be on one of the We Play Twitches. Just check BSJ or Draskell's Twitters, and I'm sure they will let you know. And then right after those games, at approximately midnight tonight Eastern, starts Geek Fam Evos, and then IG versus Royal.
No, dude. I see what they just tweeted. Schedule the 28th of May in CEST. That is, wow, you're right. Midnight of the 28th is normal time, the 27th for us. Well, slap me sideways, dude. We're casting tonight. All right. Well, I'm going to take a little nap this afternoon after this podcast is done. So the first heat starts at what time? Like 2 p.m. Pacific today? No. What time does it actually start?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so we're casting still pretty far away. So it's less than 12 hours, though. We're casting in like 7 hours, 6 hours, something like that.
Yeah, the pre-show starts at 2 p.m. Pacific. Then the first match starts at about 3 Pacific.
Well, good thing we scheduled this podcast. That just avoided a cataclysmic disaster. Wow.
Wow, I guess you're going to have a long night. See, I did my long night last night. I spent it coaching the entire time. As many of you will know, there's a full stream of it. So if you guys want to check it out, you can head over to the Trent Pack's Twitch. It included highlights such as teaching a Clinks how to buy a Crystallis. He went to lane with 0 items, and all he did was click searing arrows on his enemies, and it worked. It was great. Then we also taught a Kunkka how to play his hero, taught him how to do the combo. By the end of it, he could hit the boats. It was great. And we brought a team back from Mega Creeps to victory. So it was a great night.
Wow. Well, that's very exciting. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I just got back from the mountains. I thought I had a whole day to adjust, and here we are right back to it. So, geez, I'm still wrapping my head around how that affects my plans for the rest of the night. We were going to go car shopping today. The +1 is looking to pick up her first vehicle. So,
oh, that's exciting.
It really is, dude. I remember Greg telling me like 2 TIs ago how much fun it was to buy a car and haggle it, and that he understood why most people hated the process, but to him, that is the most fun. And I completely agree with him. I love being in scenarios where people are forced to deal with me. They want my money so bad, they will bend over backwards. I can't help myself, dude. I love fucking around with those poor chaps. They're stuck in the car with me. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to think. I'm wearing leather boots and a jacket for no reason to test drive fucking Honda Civics. It's it's
so
always
you should be the guy with the sponsorship money, not the guy looking for sponsors. That's what I'm hearing. You basically want to find us and torture them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Essentially your dream scenario.
Exactly. I finally get to sit on the other side of the fence. Speaking of sponsors, though, dude, I am excited to announce that we've got a sponsor for this one. We've finally done it. We found somebody interested in supporting the Trent Zyori podcast, and it is Rivalry.com, formerly Rivalry.gg. Of course, they're a betting sponsor, but they're one of the more reputable ones out there. 18 plus. You can get started. Your first bet is free. It's $25 for your first bet. If you mess it up, if you biff it, pick the wrong one, you get that money back, dude. They've got your back in case you make a mistake to get things started. So if you want to support the podcast, find that button under the Twitch. It's got the affiliate link. We'll see some in the Twitch chat as well. Get on it. We appreciate their support. And as such, we are going to jump into the Thunderdome. This is one of their cooler things.
Yes.
If their service is not available in like a region where you live, because they're not available in every country, they're only licensed in certain areas, you can still play this.
Like Canada.
Yep, there you go.
Can't do it,
I think
so
USA,
I'm playing the Thunderdome.
Yeah, you get to register for free, and then you can win cash money if you get this right. And this is actually pretty easy, Trent. You just have to predict 10 of these matches correct. If you get 9 out of 10, you get $35. If you get 8 out of 10, you get $15. Now, these are BO2s, and we were told that if it goes 1-1 and you pick either team, that's a default win. So in some ways, I think you're cherry picking which series are more likely to go 1-1 unless you're super confident in a 2-0.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So what did you go for, dude? I know you did your picks already. I haven't done mine yet.
I did my picks. I took the favorite in every match except I went for Ford over TNC. That's probably the easiest way to explain it.
Okay. I dig.
But, my boy Jack, I have faith. I feel like it's 40-60 in favor of TNC, but I just feel like Ford will at least get one game, so that makes me just take forward.
Yeah.
You just got to pick the team that gets one, guys.
Okay. I think Liquid Vici might be pretty even. We'll go Liquid over NIP. I like that. I'll go Vici over TNC. LGD over Keen. That feels safe. Secret over EG. EG over Gambit. I'm at 7. I'll take Secret, LGD.
How about this Secret versus EG, by the way? The 17% for EG. That's hating. Is Secret that dominant? My God.
I mean, I kind of think so. You feel like it's one-sided, but then you look at like past results, and especially if you weight recent things heavy, I don't know, dude. Alliance Keen. That's a little scary. I need 2 more here. All right, I will go back for my Liquid Vici.
Yeah, I stayed away from some of the other closer ones.
Like, Gambit Alliance scares the hell out of me. I feel like 71-29 OG to Forward is a little heavy for OG. What do you think about that one?
I don't know. OG have turned up a little bit, so I kind of felt like that's sort of fair. Then again, at the same time, Forward won their qualifier, right? They were first place in the last major qualifier, so they're also picking up. They got a bit of a new roster going on, but at the same time, guys, it's a new patch, and things are quite a bit different. So a lot of this is just some guesswork happening.
Oh, I thought I did verify my identity. I typed in all my information. Oh, I didn't respond to the text message. Well, shit. Okay, well, you got to verify your account there.
Well, we'll get that
lock
done
in
later.
your picks, but I'm going to do it right after this. I swear to God, I thought I went through all the clicks. That's my bad, ladies and gentlemen. Either way, Rivalry.com, check them out. We're very excited to have our first sponsor and couldn't thank them enough for help making this content possible. The Trent and Zyori podcast will live on. Next stop, the International.
It only took 147 episodes for you to find a sponsor. Congratulations.
We did it, though. How far we've come, man. Moonduck's really selling out. Okay, well, let's keep on about events right now. Let's, I guess, keep in the spirit of ESL Birmingham. Another one of these big non-DPC events, $300,000 on the line. What do we got here, bud? Pretty good mix of teams.
Yeah, this was set up to be the best tournament outside of TI the entire year, I would say. I mean, of course, the majors and stuff, it kind of depends on the hype and like who's getting points for TI and everything. But as a strictly third-party event, it was really impossible to beat this. Unfortunately, they lost Virtus Pro, which would have just truly cemented it. But they've been replaced by Gambit, which at the time was incredibly disappointing because they looked awful at the last minor. But then I've been watching Gambit play lately, and suddenly they look good. So you know what? At least they're showing up at the right time because hopefully that means they will be able to have a bit of a performance here at Birmingham because they need to start pricing up for the major as they qualified first slot to go to Epicenter.
That is super exciting.
Yeah, that's a another one of these squads that's 4 Russians and a +1. So it's obviously very exciting to be playing at their home. For Virtus Pro, of course, that's no one who's the Ukrainian, and then for Gambit, it's FNG who's Belarusian. So it's it should be very exciting, I think, for the epicenter crowd too. That tournament is also going to be amazing. But speaking of crowds, speaking of Birmingham, these guys were just nuts, right? These guys just scream and cheer like crazy. They all fell in love with, unfortunately, Kane the last time. But as you guys are probably aware, there was actually no South American qualifier for this tournament, which was a little unfortunate. And they didn't give a direct invite to Chaos.
Yeah.
That's a bit sad. But aside from that, the tournament itself is obviously going to be pretty incredible. There's 125 for first place, and secret, they're not done. After just seeing them at Disneyland, these guys don't care about TI points. They care about money.
Straight
they
cash,
care about
dude.
prestige, dude.
Straight
yeah,
cash.
exactly. And that's all this is now.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And also just like legacy and dominance, right? I think there's some certain allure. Like every single Dota player I talk to, it's all I care about is TI, and the reason is because TI has that level of prestige above all else. You could win 3 majors. It's not the same as winning a TI. You talk to a team after they win TI, dude, I want to be the first guy to win 2 TIs. It's all about just that reign of dominance, the legacy, that it's never enough. So I'm not surprised to see these secret boys dominating and like, hell yeah, we're still going to play and shit. I want to keep slapping them around. I want to make Liquid hurt. Puppy wants to make them his bitches.
Well, I mean, it is puppets. There you go. He's ready for full-out success here. I'm looking forward to seeing TNC there. We're going to see Heen on stage. He'll be back. Well, assuming they make it to the main stage. Heen back up there, coaching again.
I was going to say, in the coach
after
role.
so long.
Coaching the Filipino squad. What's TNC been doing recently? Haven't they been struggling to put up results?
They qualified for the major, just like straight up with the help of Heen. So
very exciting. Last time
we
we saw them
of props.
On the big stage was the KL Major, last big significant placing. They got 5th, 6th, and then they got first at WESG again. So they won 500K over Keen. Jesus, dude. So TNC has won $3.1 million as a team org in Dota 2. And if we just scroll back, 1.3 million of that has come from WESG. That is insane. Almost half their money.
That is pretty crazy. Yeah, and then on top of that, obviously the TI run versus OG was the other big one.
Yeah, so TI 7, that's 370K. TI 6, they had a run against DC, and that was 500K as well. So, yep, TI and WESG, that's all this team ever needed.
The beauty of Dota, right?
God,
I forgot they beat Cloud9 in that first WESG. Man, those guys probably got away with a little bit of cash. It's pretty nice.
2017. Who was on that Cloud9 squad then?
I believe that was the Danish Bears. That was the Dane squad. That was Ace, Baby Knight, Hestejo, Noya, and Rise.
My God, you're right, dude. Cloud9. Cloud9 got 400K for getting second in that tournament in January of 2017. Goddamn Alibaba money, dude. 1.5 million. Now, as an Alibaba stockholder, I wouldn't take a moment to complain about the usage of $1.5 million in a sponsorship of WESG, okay? I do not think this has done enough to raise awareness. Maybe in Asia. To be fair, Alibaba, we're not really like their target market, but Jesus, dude, the Alibaba money. Is WESG still going on? I guess so. There was one not that long ago. Are they still doing these things?
I don't know. I don't know when the next one will be. I mean, the last one didn't end that long ago, as you said. So,
it ended in March. Okay, so it was very recent.
I feel like they'll probably just do another one.
God,
I don't know. They're definitely scaling them down every time, though. So I don't know exactly what the next one will look like.
Yeah. So 2016 it was 1.5 mil. 2017 it was 1.5 mil, and then 2018 it was 900K. Still pretty massive. Honestly. Yes. That's 3 ESL tournaments, dude.
And they bring so many teams, too. I mean, that's the other thing. And plus, they do numerous games as well. They also do, CSGO. And I think, some of the mobile games they bring people for, too. So it is a humongous event. And I think it's all in the same place that had... I can't remember. Is it in CQ is the same place as the major. I think it is.
It was the 2018 was. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. It's listed right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's one of those. I just wish I had a contact, dude. I wish I was in charge of WESG. It's so much money. It's so much fun. And every time it's ridiculous. Isn't this like one of the tournaments that's really notorious for having like bad qualifiers that are like poorly managed or people?
Oh yeah, just terrible qualifiers. They're just like they just like pick 4 teams and put them in a best of one. It's like some of the formats are every format is different. Like you go to one region and it's just completely different than the other. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's thoroughly
Well,
enjoyable.
I mean, is that unfair though? I mean, some of the regions, there's like a Brunei qualifier. There's a Myanmar qualifier. You know, like some of these are pretty. I mean, how many Dota teams are there that are exclusively Cambodian right now? Is it a lot? Is it more than I'm giving it credit for? Because I don't know of any, but what do I know?
Yeah, but how do we know we got the best Cambodian team? That's what. That's why you need proper qualifiers.
I mean, you're not wrong. Wowzers. Okay, so anyway, should be a fun tournament to look.
We need to
forward
pick winners.
To. Yep, starts May 28th, so it starts tomorrow. Runs until June 2nd. I mean, I'm gonna do it again and just call Secret, dog. I don't know. I think
You're
the
just taking
Hungers.
Team Secret again.
Yeah, I think it'll be.
I mean,
Secret.
this one's not quite as important. You know what?
I don't
You know
think
who's
they
gonna win
care.
this tournament.
I think Puppy's just too good. I think Puppy is on another level right now with his drafting. I think this new patch, these Aghanim Scepters, dude. I think Secret is going to be doing shit other teams have not even thought of yet. This is going to be a hype tournament to watch.
A winner, but I'm gonna pick forward top 4. This is it. This team, they need something humongous for it to work. All right, it almost fell apart. They barely scraped this roster together, and now you've got the big brains of AUI and Pilot Eye together. Brand new patch, just started right now. They're grinding hard.
Okay.
I think a surprise top 4 finish for forward.
So
That's what I'm going to go for.
same logic. I'm going to make the exact same case for Gambit. I think new patch, you've got FNG here, very good at figuring things out quickly, very good at aggressive run-at-you style. They're going to find some holes. They're going to find some shit. They're going to make some teams look real dumb, but it's not going to be enough to beat the actual Tier 1 teams. Top 4 finish easy.
Top 4. That would be very impressive if either of these teams get top 4. Honestly, because as we discussed, this place is stacked. And, I mean, obviously they have the 3 best teams in China all here too, who we didn't really mention, but
LGD.
BG they just went minor major and they were like, yeah, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
You know, well, what more do you need after that? We got TI and obviously still playing super solid. And then LGD just had a good performance too. So we'll just have to watch and see starting tomorrow. Of course, we'll probably be asleep after all the casting for WePlay.
That's actually a good point. That's a little bit sad. But we'll be getting to see our own games on the patch, so I guess that's just as good. Alliance is still the big question mark team for me. I really don't know what to expect for them. Minor, they like kind of looked okay, but a lot of their wins were not that convincing. I want to believe that they're going to adapt to this patch well, but they got to this tournament through that sort of weird, the Birmingham Invitational, sponsored by our nameless competitor here, that had 5K for second place, and then first place was just a seed to the tournament. Very weird, where they beat Gambit, Empire, Pango, Navi, Final Tribe. Like it was, I don't want to say a cakewalk for Alliance, but it wasn't the strongest competition either compared to the other teams that were directly invited, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they didn't do that was basically the European qualifier. So it was still a nice run by Alliance. That was before the minor, too, when they had to play that. And that was when Gambit were looking a lot worse, too. So,
True.
And Alliance, they have another issue, too, because Mickey is now back, but Klikva's out. He's also having a routine surgery, kind of like how Mickey was off for health reasons. So Madara is continuing to stand in. He'll keep playing carry, and now Mickey is going to play the 1. Or sorry, the 2 in the mid lane instead of the 1.
Jesus. Oh, man. Has that ever happened before? That's such a weird set of circumstances. We have a stand-in for one player, and then as the player he's in for comes back, another player swaps out, and there's like, dude, you want to just stay on? I mean, you've been pretty good. We kind of like you. Our results have been good enough. You want to just keep doing? And Mickey
They're basically
will
hot cheating, you know?
Huh?
One out of the hot cheating, one out of the bed, one back into the bed, you know?
Yeah.
Like sharing the same bed.
I
hot
mean,
cheating.
It's kind of cool. Props to him. but little nervous about that. I don't know how strong Mickey's mid game is.
He's definitely played it before, so he'll be fine.
Okay, we'll be fine. We'll see.
Piece of cake.
We'll see.
So yeah, speaking of Alliance, obviously, and speaking of Dota tournaments, you guys remember they did fairly well at Dota Pit Minor, where we were casting that thing up. They're back in another minor because they did not make the European Major. They're going to be back at the European Minor with their BFFs, Ninjas in Pajamas.
The old buddies. Yeah, some slightly familiar faces too. That South American team, K1, aka Hector, Chris Brown, Whisper. That is remnants of the Majestic squad that qualified for the last minor as well. You got Complexity in there. Nice to see. EHome also back again. Mineski, Windstrike, and Team Sirius from the Chinese qualifier for this Starladder minor. Now, this isn't coming up until June 12th, so still a little bit of time until these teams will head off to Kiev. But Starladder doing the last minor of the season with a pretty interesting lineup of teams. Windstrike hailing from the CIS qualifier. So they will be the homeboy heroes, although it is mostly a Russian squad. Lil will be the lone Ukrainian.
And then, of course, this time, though, the big difference is 2 slots. So NIP will not be leaving everyone else in the dust if they manage to snag one of those top 2 once again.
True.
They're going to be bringing someone with them. And so the question is, will Windstrike make another mostly Russian team at Epicenter? That'd be pretty hype.
That would be pretty hype. Kind of hopeful for Complexity. Something about seeing that new logo just makes me happy.
The Dallas Go Stars.
Dude,
Go Cowboys.
I just saw an article this morning on my regular Apple News feed on Business Insider talking about how the Cowboys just invested in this massive gaming complex as part of their partnership with Complexity Gaming. Mainstream news this morning on my Monday morning feed, this Complexity shit. And honestly, dude, it just made me kind of giddy and tickly and like, fuck yeah, let's see Complexity do some shit now. Now you just got to win something, you know?
That is the hard part, unfortunately. Although I will say I've watched a little bit lately, and Tavo was looking great, obviously. I mean, in terms of offlaners in North and South America, he would be the best one, at least in my opinion, that you could pick up past couple of months. So that was a very quick snag from Complexity after losing Death. It looks like they didn't really have a great idea of who they were going for, considering how fast that swap happened.
They've just
like Tavo kicked instantly on Cole.
Yeah, they've got such an interesting mashup right now. You've got Miracle, who is Singaporean, Limp, who is Swedish, Tavo, who's Brazilian, Z-Freak's American, and then you've got Adam, who is Malaysian. So you've really got a full global squad here.
And you even got a Netherlands coach.
And yeah, that's true.
So
and
there you go.
Kips is the coach, so there you go. It's full representation. I want to believe that can be a formula for success. I want this to be like a proof of concept for these training conditions, all the benefits of this big facility. I want to see a payoff here. But is it actually going to pay off? Have you looked at this team recently? Like, did they look good in qualifiers? I mean, they're obviously in the minor, not the major, so that's already.
I watched a little bit, but obviously they didn't look good enough. I mean, Miracle has really shined quite a bit, especially I just saw some of his more like classic heroes, like the Jug or the Ursa. Ursa's like absolutely insane, actually. But I was just thinking because Adam 343, he just spent a little bit of time in China, so if we give him, and Malaysia, obviously, and China have a very interesting relationship overall. I'm trying to say, like, has there ever been a team that's actually had all 5 regions? With Adam spending enough time in China, can we count him as honorary, kind of like the Zy NA? Can we give him a little bit of China to Adam? Because this is kind of cool. I
would probably thumbs that down.
I might thumbs it down too, but I'm really stretching because I just think it would be neat.
I bet there's probably been some sort of a lineup that's pretty close, but I can't think of an example.
I mean, this is really
actually
close.
All 5, mostly because of the South American infusion. That's the part that really makes it. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Pretty impressive.
It's pretty good.
Right,
you're pretty global.
Yeah, it's certainly quite a feat there from Cole. Now, as he said, though, all that matters is now win something.
Now you got to win something. Exactly.
Yeah. So we talked about these teams, obviously, and the whole point, though, minors, we know what they are, what they mean. They are to join the major, to get some points, to go to TI, the points that actually matter. And the major qualifiers were very entertaining. I did watch quite a few of these and had some very interesting results. Of course, Infamous receiving a little bit of flame from our boy Duster, formerly of Pain slash what eventually became Chaos, who was kicked for Misery. Mr. Duster was not too happy. As you guys probably recall, there was quite a bit of little drama and tweets going out there. And this thought of like all these Euros, you haven't qualified for anything, just come here for easy slots, basically, which I thought was a little bit of a self insult there from Duster. But then they got their slot to the major, so if they can come and win, well, tough shit, honestly. Yeah, so I feel about it. As long as they actually want to play in the region, I'm not saying just go and like scrape slots from other regions, but I want the best players at TI. Yeah, that has always been my goal.
I generally would agree, and I think the whole idea is that now you're required to actually play in the region. So if you're a player from another region and you're coming in and you're, even if you don't have any South Americans, you're still scrimming in that area. You're on those servers. It's a net benefit to the ecosystem in general, getting more international people part of that local ecosystem. And these rosters change a lot, right? So maybe this team doesn't work out, but Black sticks around in the region, then he joins Pain Gaming, and all of a sudden this very experienced player is cross-pollinating with other pretty experienced players in the region but haven't been on the big stage nearly as much as Black has, right? So I think that's a pretty short-sighted approach of like, we lost this one qualifier because these fucking Euros came in here. Like, I get it. It sucks in the moment. Sucks to lose. You feel like someone's taking your opportunity, but at the same time, assuming they all just don't fuck off immediately as soon as this major's done, I think you're rolling the dice on a positive expected value outcome.
I will say though, not to belittle the issue as well, because I think you have to keep in mind that the Europeans are coming in with a absolutely massive advantage to any players that were in the region. Like, let's say you spent the past 3 years in Europe because that's just where you were born, and the past 3 years in South America because that's just where you were born. Who has a better advantage in Dota 2? Like, there's no doubt. The shit's just way easier in Europe in that sense. Right. Like, to actually get better, the infrastructure's way better. They have functioning servers. They have ping that allows them to play numerous tournaments, whereas in South America, like, the internet's, like, barely functional for a lot of instances. Like, they try and play US East and stuff, and it's garbage, too. So, as much as, like, bringing the Europeans and stuff like that can be good for the region overall, I think in the end, the real benefit of Valve want to do something is they still need to fix all those server issues. And I don't know how much is on their hands, how much they can even do.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
In the end, that's really what's holding back South America.
Did you see Bowie's tweet about the team that qualified? And they had to pause partway through because the one guy was playing at his friend's house because he doesn't have a computer. So he was borrowing his friend's computer, and then his friend's neighborhood lost power. They didn't have electricity, so they had to pause the game, and he literally ran to a LAN cafe where he could get a computer so they could unpause and resume and continue playing. Like, what the fuck is that, man? Those aren't fair circumstances. Like, it's bad enough you're already just like, hey, bud, you think I could borrow that Pentium 4 for a couple hours? We're playing in this really big qualifier. I'll split some of the winnings with you if we make it.
Yeah.
That alone is bad enough, and then that's like, oh, sorry. Yeah, you got to find another option, dog. That's like, Jesus Christ. It's another level.
Yeah, impressive stuff there. And then, of course, we got all the other regions going on. Ford taking the first slot in NA, partnered with, of course, EG. No shock there. TNC, a bit surprising. We kind of touched on that earlier, but with Heen coming in to help the team with the coaching, it seems to have improved them greatly. They were all speaking highly of Heen and his efforts there. So they took the first slot. They went 6-1, I believe, in the groups. And then, as expected, though, Fnatic still able to get themselves to the major as well. And then we had one surprise in China, though, which was Royal Never Give Up. I mean, I don't want to say a surprise, but of course, we had these guys at the minor last time. And we talked about how we had high expectations for them, and they kind of bombed out a little bit. Of course, the format certainly wasn't helping them, but they're back in good form with taking a slot in the China qualifier.
Okay. Excited to see what they can put up. I think this will be another really good major. Whoever makes it out of the minor just is a good addition to an already pretty all-star lineup of teams. And it's even more interesting because, as we've mentioned a couple times, you've got these big dogs that are secured at TI that are pretty much playing for money at this point, prestige, just to kind of say that you can. Then you've got this whole cast of kind of whatever 1.5 teams right now that are like, dude, this is our make it or break it. like I remember this time at the end of last season, NIP was that team that was on the cusp, right? And it came down to just like, oh my God, can they make it? Like the difference of this match, this placement, you know, like
painful.
we actually saw it come down to the wire, and there's potential.
They
for
had
that.
to play Virtus Pro in that best of 3.
Yep.
Their arch nemesis, and lost.
Yep.
They got stuffed.
You know, like that was pretty awesome. I can't remember a series outside of like TI or a grand finals that stuck in my memory so much. It's just like, oh shit, there's a lot on the line with this one. Y'all fucked up, man. Damn.
I'm actually just looking, and I see that I didn't even kind of realize that Keen missed out. Yes.
Keen? Yeah,
Keen,
you're right.
They're not even in the minor. I just didn't see him in the major and kind of assumed, but because Sirius won that slot, and EHome, obviously, that really hurts Keen. So they're done in terms of points.
Yeah, they got 2-0'd or 2-1 by Sirius in the first round of the playoffs. And Sirius got 2-0'd by EHome, and then Sirius went back and beat Keen again 2-1 in the lower bracket finals to qualify for the second slot. So it came down to one last game for Keen, and they lost.
Because they're 8th, right? Like they're let me see. They're 9th place right now. So they have 1,140 DPC points. They are on the bubble. They are the top of teams that are not guaranteed a TI.
Dude.
That's pretty scary. Now, mind you, that still means, you know, the sponges is what really comes into play, because then we have to take a look at who is above them. And you look at all those teams and you cross-reference that who's at the major, and you're still like, obviously you're nervous because your fate's out of your hands as someone on King Game, but you think about how many of these teams above us are about to be taking points away at this major, and they're all there.
Basically, you're asking yourself, is anyone who is not currently ahead of us on DPC going to do a run and get top 4? Because 4th place is 1,350 points. So that's like that break of you get top 4, you come in with 0, you're ahead of Keen, you're qualifying. And that's what makes this really scary. If your sponges don't perform and absorb those upper DPC points, right?
I mean, who's even scary, though? It's like, it's kind of crazy when you look at it, because...
So Royal...
Like Forward is someone, Royal is someone.
Forward, potentially NIP if they qualify.
Well, NIP are a sponge. They're ahead of them.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh.
Everybody's sponging. There's a lot of sponges.
Yeah, so you're looking at like a South American team to make a run. You're right. Fnatic's already ahead
I guess,
of them.
is a little scary because TNC's at the major and very close behind them, and then OG too. So TNC, OG, and then EHome if they make it to the major. And then after that, it's basically just like teams that can somehow make it to the major, like Mineski. Forward and Pain. Oh,
and Royal.
I don't know about those pain points. Are those old pain points or new pain points?
Yeah, that one's complicated. I honestly don't know. There's been
they've fixed the chart since then. Those are new pain points. That's the same pain that has those 150.
150. All right. So yeah, I think Gambit is the only other one. They've got. Ooh. Damn, dude. So if Gambit got 5th, that's 900 points, and that wouldn't be enough. They'd be short by like 12 points to beat Keen. So Gambit would have to get 4th and able to knock him out. So you're right. It's really not many. You're looking at like the winner of the minor, Royal, Pain, or potentially Gambit.
Because like I feel like you kind of assume OG's going to leapfrog you. Like they're probably going to get enough points to get over you, but then you're still just in 10th. And then
TNC, you probably
even if
assume they'll get
TNC
enough.
did it, yeah, you're still okay, but they probably won't. So Keen are feeling okay, but obviously you'd rather just be at the major and get a couple points for yourselves.
Really, EHome is the big question mark. If EHome does a Vici-esque run and does really well at the minor and then comes into the major and looks pretty good, again, you only need like, top 6 if you're EHome to get enough points? Something like that?
No, EHome are already qualified. Or what do you mean? To
move above Keen to knock them down, to knock them out of top 12, EHome need to surpass also. So I'm talking about this like ridiculous scenario where OG gets enough, TNC places pretty high, EHome places pretty high, then Keen's in 12th, and then that's where it's like, okay, right. who's making this run? Mineski, Alliance, Gambit, or Forward, then they're actually out.
So, right, but
That's what it takes.
So to put that in perspective, that would require that TNC gets top 6, EHome gets top 6, OG it gets one of the top 6 slots above them as well. You would assume. I guess they theoretically wouldn't have to. They could just get 7th or 8th. So let's say OG gets 7th or 8th, and now they're ahead of Keen as well.
I think TNC actually only has to get top 8, not top 6. What is it?
Oh yeah, you're right. They do.
450
okay.
plus.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So TNC needs. All right, this is very good. So TNC needs a top 8, and then EHome needs a top 6. OG just needs top 8 as well. And then you need some other team to also finish really high. I guess Alliance, if they came in, could get a top 6, and they would actually be ahead of them, but that's very unlikely. Forward needs more than a top 6. They actually would need a top 4 to then knock Keen out. So there is a very small set of circumstances that knock Keen out of this top 12.
You're right, because that would require some crazy upsets where like Secret, Liquid, Virtus Pro, EG, and Fnatic don't all get top 4 or something.
And VG and LGD.
Yeah, you're right. So, okay, yep. Keen's good. I think Keen's safe. I'd bet on that.
That's
Jesus.
pretty good.
Okay.
All right. That's a good question. Can you bet on that? Can I bet on if Keen make it to TI right now?
Now that would be a
that might be a value bet.
Yeah, I would like that. All right. Well, moving forward, man. I guess let's talk about the patch. There's a number of dramas right now, but I don't know if we're even going to touch any of them, to be honest, in any significant manner, because all of them
I don't feel like I'm going to be significant if I'm going to be real.
I mean,
guys.
they're very much the kind of he said, she said, the like, oh, you said something racist. Oh, no, you said something racist / shrug. All right, we're all at an impasse. We're all racist. We all fucked up. I mean, it's sort of this same... Feels like a lazy Susan that's just going round and round, and like little drama keeps falling off onto your plate, and you're like, all right, oh, somebody else made a racist comment. All right, what am I? So, yep, I don't agree with what he said. There you go. Cool.
Just be more creative with your insults, guys. If your insult's a generalization and has something to do with someone that they can't control, your insult sucks.
Yeah.
Get a better insult, or just like don't be, a jerk and stuff. But
or just
I know you're going to be anyway.
Get a stress ball, do your thing. I get it. Dota's stressful. I guess my one question, did you read Seb's apology? Did you like that? Did you quote buy it to put it in a negative kind of cynical context?
I didn't really pay attention to it. I don't know. There's gonna be some Valve statement or something. I'll just let it all go. I don't care.
Yeah, you're into it.
I'm so over it, dude.
Yeah,
I'm gonna handle it the last time. I can't handle it this time.
Yeah.
And then what's our other one that we're supposed to talk? Oh yes, clairvoyance. That whole thing is. I mean, I see NIP has now put out a statement as well. That is obviously a very massive. He said, she said, contractual obligations, and
dude,
that one that just kind of sucks overall.
That one, yeah. I don't know. I had trouble getting through the whole clairvoyance post. I don't know. I think there's like a balance of if it takes you that long to describe the problem, it's probably not worth going public with it because it's going to be long and complicated. And to me, that's like a sign that there's a shitload of moving pieces, right? So it's sort of a back and forth. The NIP one was kind of the classic, like, yeah, this is bullshit. Here's some things. We could sue him for breach because he revealed all this shit, but we're not gonna. I did like that little flex from NIP that just like, by the way, dog, this was breach of contract, and we could pursue legal action. We're not going to, but just be aware that we're going to hold that over your head a little bit there. That's like a classic esports strong arm move. We're not actually going to pursue legal action, but we know that we could, and that's a win for us. It's such a weird kind of concept. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have much of value to add to either of those. I do want to talk about this patch though, because this is your standard big boy, as we like to call it.
It is a massive patch.
It's
good to go.
Taking your Dota 2 that you thought you knew, that you were comfortable with, your set strategy, you're spamming your hero in pubs, you're finally getting MMR, and boom, bombshell. The frog drops it, and you're like, well, fuck. Now I don't know what I'm doing. People have new
I went to
spells.
bed. early because I had to get up early for a cast, and then suddenly it was just like, holy shit, it's game time. Let's read a giant patch. And that first, I love it. That first one, dude. What a way to open a patch note. Added new scepter upgrades for all of the 24 remaining heroes without an upgrade. Think about how much pleasure that probably gave someone to write. Because I think I've been asking for that since I started playing Dota. They just kind of stuck with you, just like, well, they don't all have Aghanims? Well, they should probably do that soon.
Yeah.
That was like 4 years ago. Oh my god, how long have I played this game? 6 years ago? Jesus. All right, that was like 6 years ago.
Yeah. It was inevitable, no doubt. And I like it. It's a lot to digest. It's the only thing I don't like about it. It's a lot of Aghanims all at once. I took some notes, but I guess we can start at the top. Big changes to Roshan. Now the Aghanim Scepter buff recipe thing. So you get like a synthesized Aghanim Scepter that you can pick up. Then it becomes a buff now. It has a random chance, 50% coin flip to be that or the Refresher Shard for third Roshan. Yes. And then at Rosh 4, you get the Aegis, the Cheese, the Aghanims, and the Refresher Shard. So Rosh 4 is like this fucking pinata of just Dota insane. Bananas. Like, holy shit, I just quadrupled my net worth. Wow. Now, it's kind of ridiculous. I played a game last night where I got to play carry, and I actually was all for with Luna. I had the Refresher Shard. They gave me the Ags buff.
Really?
They gave me the cheese. I was a normal 1 Luna, right-click build, Manta style, all that shit. They were like, Luna, this is perfect. Now your ult's going to be fucking awesome. And I got the 25 talent to increase the mini stun duration. Oh, dude. The last fight, they just died. They just fucking died. It felt unfair. It was actually kind of ridiculous.
My first professional cast experience, I was casting some of the Key League Invitational. And I saw it, the third Roche, all right? And there it was. And there was the Aghanims thing dropped instead of the Refresher Shard, and the Centaur Warrunner picked it up, and he kept it in his backpack for the next 15 minutes. And they still managed to win the game, but he never used it.
Oh, no.
It made me want to scream.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It's like they just didn't read the notes or something. I was like, they almost lost the game. They almost threw the game. They managed to still win. But I no one told him. I don't know. But he literally just kept it in his backpack the whole time. So that was depressing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a buff. You got to use it.
You got to use it. You got to activate it. So what it does, guys, in case you haven't checked, you get the Scepter upgrade. You just don't get the stats. So it's like Alchemist gave you the Ags buff, but it's a little shittier.
Yes.
Pretty
so
much.
That's what, like, when you see like Ags synth, so to speak,
yep.
like the synthesized Ags, that means you're not getting stats. You're just getting the upgrade.
I like the little the visual though with the Aghanims. Yeah. Although I thought it was only going to be for if you had the synth upgrade, but now it's just even if you bought your own Ags, you still get the little circle, which is a throwback to Dota 1. But that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just go in order though. But Mars and Io also.
Yeah, Mars.
After all these Aghanims,
not surprised with. I think Mars was in a point where it's like, yeah, he seems pretty okay. He's been around for a while. Little surprised to see Wisp just come back. It's like they took him out, they changed him, and then he sat there for a while, and they're like, yeah, all right.
I think he got one more nerf a little while ago.
Did he?
As well.
Did I sell that
and
short?
Then,
okay.
So, but I mean, it is still Io. I think the fact that the tether still works the way where it's like, if you're tethered to someone and you end the tether, it's like a cooldown was ticking the whole time. So sometimes you're like, tether gets snapped in the middle of a team fight and you still have tether ready to tether to someone else. Makes this hero pretty broken. That I'm still surprised is on the hero. They did nerf him again and made it so you can get stunned during tether, sort of like a timber chain function as it's described in the patch note. But I just realized before we jump to Mars and Io, we would be remiss if we did not at least pick out some of these new Aghanim Scepters. Have any of them blown your mind?
So, yeah, let's see. Where are my notes here? There were a couple, and I've only played 3 games on the patch. I got back last night, queued up a couple pubs. The first one that jumped out to me as, like, you skim the notes, gut reaction, I had to play Starladder. That was my first game. I had to get some puddles. I had to make some puddles.
Oh, I'm impressed. Way to go.
Something about that. I like playing Starladder. He felt pretty strong at the last minor. I've been playing him in pubs. He's fun, like on the position 3 when you got a good bully off lane. I don't know how to feel about this Ags. I don't think it's that good. I think if it was like a buff for your whole team, it would be like crazy broken. But the fact that it's just you, by the time you get it after Blink and all your other shit, you're just kind of like, They just killed me in my puddle. Now what do I do, guys? It is sick when you hit level 25 and you get the lowered cooldown on Slitherine Crush and you can just cover their entire base in puddles. That's kind of cool. You go really fast, but again, it's kind of gimmicky.
What about the 40% status resistance? Isn't that like kind of? I feel like I would feel godly with that thing.
Well,
on.
that's how I thought it would be, and then they just kind of killed me. Unfortunately, status resistance doesn't reduce damage taken, you see. So
yes.
you still die very quickly because you spent all your money on an Aghanims. So you're running around with boots, blink Aghanims, like, don't worry, guys, it's really wet over here. I go quick. And then their carry just goes, guys, who's this fucking Slardar who thinks he's a boss because he's got plus 12 armor? Let's just fucking kill him.
All right, fair.
But I thought that one was pretty entertaining. Other ones I saw, I think Ember Spirit is the most broken one I've encountered so far.
It looks unbelievable.
Godlike. Like bananas. I was in a game with an Ember Spirit who hadn't read the patch at all. And he said, wait, there's Aghanims for everybody? Well, what does mine do? And I said, well, why don't you mouse over it and read it, big dog? And he was like, this sounds awesome. So he bought it, and he just started screaming. He started just having a spaz attack. I'm just like, oh, guys, I'm so good. He was actually screaming. He was so shocked and stunned. And then we killed Roche, and he saw the Aghanims buff, and he was like, well, why did I just fucking buy it then? And he got real mad. It was pretty funny. It was the classic post-patch 3K pub, dude. But even that guy was able to dominate with the Aghanims on Ember Spirit. So
it's unbelievable. Like so this is what that caught me my eye was Fire Remnant cast range is 3 times longer. Like what? And then the Remnant's also twice as fast.
Yeah,
and you get 5 charges. It's so many buffs. Oh, and by the way, mana burn being pretty good against Ember, 150 mana cost the Remnant. No, that's just gone.
Yeah, dude.
Don't worry about that. That's cool. I feel like the Ag synth is unbelievable in this hero. Like, sure, you don't really want to have to buy an Aghanims.
Yeah.
But the synth is just insane. And buying an Aghanims isn't the worst on this hero, but honestly, I think it's probably mostly a slot issue.
Dude, I mean, I think in that game, I felt like that actually might have been my first Slardar game, but I felt like, holy shit, I can't believe how good Slardar is now because we can kill Roche so easily. We had a Slardar and a TA on our team. So it was just like, dude, by 30 minutes, we have potential for an Ag synth that's pretty game-changing. It just, like, turns that hero from, yeah, this Ember's pretty farmed to, all right, he's a fucking god now, and he can just run around and take over the game.
I had another pro match experience with the Grimstroke. So EGM, also known as Jerry now for Singularity, they were up against the wall, getting pushed in pretty deep, and they were defending their high ground. And Jerry managed to farm up the Aghanims on the Grimstroke. And my god. He got Soulbind onto their 2 most farmed cores, and then he got the Dark Portrait, and he just won like 3 fights in a row that way. Those portraits were ridiculous. He just started zoning back the backline. He literally just A-clicked them on the supports, and the supports were just dying. And there was nothing they could do because they're magic immune illusions.
Wow.
You're just like, what is happening? I cannot fight this as a support hero, and not even as a support hero. Like the Juggernaut was being killed by his own ink illusion as well. It's got a 35-second cooldown.
It seems pretty good.
I don't know.
I mean,
Dark
is this like
bananas
potential for a core Grimstroke? Like, I know he doesn't like fit.
I don't think so. That's the only problem is that when you think about it, it's reliant on your enemy having items and stuff. So like you rushing that item is not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but isn't it like pretty good with other items, like having an Aether Lens first, for example, and like maybe a Blink Dagger or like.
Yeah. I wouldn't say a core like Grimstroke's. Like if you're core at the speed at which you get it, it's never going to be that good. I don't think.
Okay.
Like maybe certain games that might be good. Like you're getting really good auras and stuff like that. Yeah. But I think overall it's just a really nice scepter for like a position 4 Grimstroke.
Certainly lets him scale a fuckload. You go, all right, we're going late, dude. We're good. We got late game Grimstroke, baby. Just get him the Ags. Like this is striking me as like Yapsor style. Like. You have this greedy 4, this 3.5 that can get all this kind of farm. You get an Aghanims at 40 minutes right when their carry's popping off. Oh, wow. Nice, dude. Sick carry.
I think the Willow one is probably the one I've heard the most talk about.
Oh,
I would say overall, which was the attacking no longer takes you out of Shadow Realm. Each attack still has bonus damage based on the duration of the buff. It sounds really good. It's probably really good at like 25 and stuff, but realistically, playing a game of Dark Willow, I don't think it sounds that insane. It sounds good, but I don't know if I would say it's the most broken one in the entire game.
No, I'm with you on that. What else did I have on my list here? So, all right, the one that I thought might be most broken, aside from Grimstroke when I was reading, the PA one. Did you see the Phantom Assassin? She gets cooldown resets. I read this and was just like, she's a straight League of Legends hero now. Anytime you get a hero kill, your abilities are refreshed.
I thought the blurred dispel part of it was kind of crazy.
That too. It's now instant cast time and applies a dispel. That helps a lot too. I don't know what Blur's cooldown was, but now it's 12 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, PA doesn't have cooldowns that are that long. I'm with you. But at the same time, that's part of what makes this hero so crazy is that she can't just like jump in and man up. She has to be a little more cautious. And sometimes you want to save that blink strike so that you can get out instead of go in. You know, like she's delicate. Now, if you can man up on somebody and get that kill, fucking balls to the wall, dog. Jump in. Do it to it. Get in and get out. You know, like you're just throwing daggers left and right. Again, Synth Hero, you get that on Roche 3. You've already got a pretty good Roche lineup. 30-minute PA with fucking ability refresh. That's bananas. That is
one thing to keep in mind for sure. It's like how the synth impacts all of these. Because like you look at this and you're like, well, I'm not going to buy an Agnums. How am I going to make this work in my build as PA? But when you just add it to a synth and it's just there, you're just like, shit.
Yeah.
This is kind of
And it doesn't take an item slot. Like if you got a free Ags from Roche and it took your item slot, it would still be good. The fact that it's just a straight buff. What?
Yeah.
What?
It's pretty good. Yeah, definitely.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen it though. I haven't seen anybody play. Just on paper, that one jumped out to me as like maybe I've just been playing too much Mobile Legends, but I'm like, man, those fucking reset heroes are a bitch.
How about the Monkey King one? That was one that jumped out to me, dude. Oh god, there's so many of these. I can't wait to talk about all of these. Honestly, this is the kind of shit I love about Dota. But like this monkey one is all right. So you have to have the ultimate skilled first off.
Okay.
It is a part of your ultimate that it's upgrading. So you have to be at least level 6, just so you know, or at least you have to skill the ulti because some monkeys, you know. Don't ask me how someone found this out. Hopefully it was just in demo mode, but someone mentioned that to me, and I was like, when did you get an Ags with that ulti? But anyway, every 3.5 seconds, you just get a monkey soldier. And they last for 12 seconds, and they just hit stuff. There you go.
So you just drop a mini version of your ult all over the place.
I guess so. It's a very unique one.
That sounds bad to me, but you know,
I'm not sure what does their vision look like? Do they not have vision? That's an interesting thought.
I don't know if they have, but it's so. Isn't that also kind of a detriment where it says it doesn't spawn if you're invisible or on trees, but what if you're trying to chase him and then you see a monkey and you're like, oh, we know we went this way. You know, it's like a little trail of breadcrumbs. Is that what you want?
That is a good point. I was thinking of them as behind. So like they don't give any vision though, as people are saying, because like it's like your ulti, right? It's the same thing. So
okay, yeah.
But yeah, that is funny. I don't know.
So I thought the same thing about the Terror Blade one, if you recall that, where it makes Metamorphosis now have a wave that travels outward in all directions, kind of like a deafening blast, and those targets get feared for 3 seconds. Wave of Terror, the wave travels for at 0.6 or whatever, or starts traveling after 0.6 seconds. I'm sorry. Travel speed of 1,000 units, whatever. Has a global sound effect. Why? To me, I read that and went, why would I want a global sound effect to alert the other team when I use my ultimate? So okay, meta's on cooldown. We know it now. Like, why would you? All right, guys, we heard the sound. Everybody just fucking back up. To me, is that not a pay-to-lose ultimate? And on top of that, who gives a shit? Like, you use defensive Metamorphosis? They all ran away from you? Like, what is that?
Is it supposed to be one of those things where it's like... Oh, well, actually, I don't know. I don't know what the logic is there. That's a really great question.
That might be the worst one from the ones that I read. Again, haven't seen it at all. Haven't experimented.
It fears them for 3 seconds. That is a really unique one for Terrorblade. I guess because you're reflectioning them, right? That's the real issue. So I need to look at my Terrorblade hero here.
Like, I just don't get it.
So what's the slow on reflection at max level now? It's always just 20%.
Oh,
yeah, that doesn't sound very good. Is there a talent that increases it? There's not.
Well, and so It's like
Well, I was
usually
trying to think how you could use it in a vacuum yourself, but yeah, you really need someone to help you with some control elements.
well, and it's weird too because remember this is when you're popping meta. So usually it's like
Yeah.
you pop meta before you get into the fight. So now you're sort of like rolling the dice of not getting stun locked, so then you can pop your meta. Like, what is the use case for this? Like, if you get jumped on and then you get a reset, like that's what your BKB Sunder is. You know, what do you need this for? And I feel like Terrorblade's problem is getting on targets. He doesn't want people to run away from him. He wants people to come to him a lot of the time. You know, you pop meta, people get the fuck away from you. How does pushing them further away from you help? Like, am I dumb? Is there something I'm not understanding about this?
Well, my thought process
upgrade?
was that if there was some way to buff the reflection, I was trying to remember if he had like a reflection talent or something where it's like if you could get a good slow with the ulti and they were still slowed enough that you could still right click them, this would kind of make sense. But
Yeah.
reflection's only ever 20%. I don't play Terrorblade, so I wasn't sure if maybe I was forgetting a talent or something.
I'm
So
not
yeah,
a
this
huge-
just straight up looks kind of awful. You definitely need like a teammate.
I mean, it is a reset. You know, it is like a cool. It's a totally different play style. I guess you could play this Terrorblade like a blink dagger, where you jump into a fight, fucking meta. Everybody runs in every direction, and you just pop your BKB and go God mode on people. Like you could just switch up your gameplay.
What kind of stuff could be happening in a game where this looks good? I guess if you're ratting.
But even then, it's like an inverse black hole. Guys,
It's
don't worry,
only
I'm gonna blink
1,000
in and make them
range, too.
scatter.
It's not that. Wait, is it that? Wait, hold on. No, wait. Wait, what is the range?
It doesn't say.
I saw the travel speed of 1,000 and thought it was range of 1,000.
No, it traveled at speed of 1,000. The wave starts traveling after 0.6 seconds.
It's humongous. It's a giant screen. 1600-ish.
Okay. Yeah,
Huh.
that's big.
So there is definitely some sort of a Rax scenario here where you literally just pop it and take their buildings.
Okay.
But yeah, that's interesting.
So you blink and then inverse ravage. All right. Still
Fear's
weird,
just
though.
unique. I don't know.
Still
Fear's
weird. So I did
Yeah.
see someone else bring up, though, what might be the worst one is probably Lycans. One of the weirdest. It causes one of the 3 creep waves to include 2 wolves. You can't control the wolves, but they are considered your units. So you can't do anything, but you are responsible for all the gold that they feed. These wolves also have the same movement speed as lane creeps. Why would you ever want that? You don't even get to pick which lane it is. It causes one of the 3 creep waves to include 2 wolves.
Well, and then the other thing is that Eosin tested it the night it came out, and he said that they get no feral impulse, even though it says they're your units. They have 450 life, and they're not even invis.
Cool.
So what?
They get bonus damage to towers. I see some points in Twitch chat. The wolves kill creeps. You get the money. I mean, yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. But you can't control them. So you're just like, yeah, okay, you get some farm. I mean, it reminds me of like a shittier version of the Nature's Prophet agonyms, right? Where the treants get spawned when you kill shit.
Yeah, exactly. But that one's at least good, and you can micro them. But
and
yeah.
you can control it. Like, you're using the ultimate, so you know what you're getting vision of, so you can kind of like, this is like autopilot ags. Just like, well, get some wolves.
Here's some thought process, though, is that can Lycan get a good scepter upgrade? If Lycan got a good scepter upgrade, he'd be pretty broken. Because he takes Roche really easily. He snowballs super hard. It's like, what if he just like forces an early third Roche, gets Ags, and it's like really good and the game's just over? Like, this could actually be a balancing thing where this hero just can't even have a really good
I like
Ags.
this argument. So what you're saying is that some heroes are so fundamentally broken in their mechanics. I would say Spectre could be in that category, so we can go into that Ags next. That you have to have a lore-based agonyms to balance it. Like Lycan, that doesn't make any sense. There's like, let's just give him some wolves. So I see people saying you get gold, but you're also giving gold to the enemy team. Those are 2 more units for the enemy carry to farm. You know, like it swings both ways. I'm a hater. I don't know. This seems
I'm definitely hating on that Ags.
This one seems super
pretty bad.
Now the Spectre one I kind of like though. Did you see that where you get a single cast version of Haunt?
Now, have you seen it in action? Because maybe I need to open my client. I don't know how this one works. Do you know how it works in terms of like, is it you have to have vision of the person to
Yes.
use it?
So you get a single target. You get like a new spell that is a single target version of Haunt. So if somebody is like showing on the map, you can just like Haunt over to them and kind of teleport. So my understanding is that they have to be in vision for you to do it.
Yeah, that makes more sense. That was my assumption. I just wanted to make sure.
I haven't actually seen it, but that was the way I saw it described.
Seems to be the Twitch. Our friends here are helping us out and say that is indeed correct. So we'll call that good to go.
I liked this though. I thought this was a cool kind of like, okay, this adds some more utility to Spectre. It's not completely mindless. You know, they have to show
it's a decent
first.
synth. Yeah.
It's kind of
also lets you use Haunt like twice basically, right? So you can be like split pushing and farming even in like mid to late game. Like let's say you have a synth on your Spectre or an Alchemist gave you an eggs or something. And so you can use the Haunt for scouting to start the fight, and then you can like Haunt around, and then as the fight goes on, maybe you just need another Shadow Step to move to another part of the fight to help out your other like core hero or something like that. It is pretty cool.
Yeah. And it's got a shorter cooldown too. I like that. I like that it turns Spectre from this late game, like kind of 2-minute power horse to like you can do more. You could burn your ultimate. It doesn't work out. And then you could still initiate with that vision intel. You know, like if you're on the other side of the map, you can still jump in once your team starts with the Shadow Step. The TA Ags also seems pretty darn good. It turns her into like almost an Ember Spear-esque hero.
I don't know what to think about this one.
Allows you to teleport to any psionic trap after a 2-second channel. Does not break meld.
Here's one thing. I don't get why it detonates the trap on arrival. That sounds like the worst assassin ever.
Yeah. Shouldn't
the trap stay there so that she could have a trap in her ocean? If they don't buy detection, you like TP onto it?
I think because exactly scenarios, I think it makes it too broken. I think it's too good where you just put these traps down. If they don't have sentries like literally everywhere, you're just, this TA is appearing on people. At least the psionic trap. It's sort of like, you know how when wards die, you can see the graphic on the other team of the ward actually dying?
Yes.
Same kind of logic where it's just like, without that little tiny element, it makes warding kind of silly. You know, you want to be able to give people little bits of intel of just like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You know, it's still random. You don't always see wards despawn, but I think it's along that same vein of like, it helps keep things in check and give you a chance if you're behind to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. He had a fucking ward right next to me. You know, this kind of thing. Imagine if you didn't have that. She'd be a fucking god. She'd just be nature's prophet.
I mean, I don't think it's that good. I guess I see what you mean, but
if executed right, like I doesn't that put so much pressure on supports with sentries, like to a ridiculous extent.
Well, the thing that worries me about this Aghanims is I see her planning like traps in the tree line and just having a cross map rat.
Yes, that too.
So it's only a 30-second CD on the TP, so you could like put a couple traps in the lane, and you're using those to pop some creep waves, right? And then you've left one trap on the other side of the map, so you TP to that one, then you put your other line of traps down, then you TP back to the other one, and you're just infinitely keeping 2 lanes pushed. Sounds pretty annoying late game with an accent.
You're right. Yeah, and that, like, if they don't detonate, that's made even easier, right? You're just literally teleporting back and forth. Like, at least
I mean, doesn't really change anything.
Not really, but
place another one.
It just makes it a little bit more difficult. You know, without it, it's just I mean, you can actually just jump back and forth. 30 seconds is not much. But yeah, I have not seen that one in action, but felt pretty good. What else did I have? Oh, so this was, I wanted to pick your brain about the tiny one, dude. I didn't have too many
I
others.
To bring him up too. All right, perfect. That's what I was about to say.
So it's
I don't know what this is.
That's the way it's called Tree Volley. Grants you a channeling ability. Every 0.4 seconds, a random tree within a 525 range of your hero is thrown towards a targeted AoE, and it deals 120% of your damage to enemies in the area. 400 AoE little range thing with a pretty long cast range.
It's a very strange one. It's just like, who came up with this? I actually don't know.
So is this like another one of these? Well, you know, we just got to go with the lore. Tiny's going to be too broken if we give him a good Aghanims again. So Tree Volley. That's what Tiny wants to do. Stand there and channel. That's gonna be good. Oh, look out for that tiny combo. No, wait, he's in the back channeling with the trees. What is he?
Well,
A
here's the
fucking
thing. Like,
druid
if
now?
you ever stun someone like near a tree line, or like let's say you have Shadowblade Blink, right? So you can Shadowblade, you can Ava toss them, blink to the nearest tree line, and then while they're still stunned, you throw your trees for like half the duration. You'll probably guarantee hit them with like three trees, and they're just dead. And like any sort of team control, I mean, it's pretty cool. Here's the thing, though. Tiny's really good with like most items that
Oh.
I don't know when I can get to an Aghanims.
So it's incredible with crit. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is your damage.
Okay. Yes. No. So that's there's like some scaling there. You know, if you're
Imagine someone RP'd someone though, and like you channeled this on it, you would actually just kill the entire enemy team.
okay. So
That'd be so funny.
I guess I don't disagree with it having moments where it could look strong. I don't really understand how this synergizes with the rest of the hero.
He's janky. Tiny's moved to be a janky hero. He does weird shit. He just walks at you and tosses you under towers.
And then
He's a support
channels
now.
trees at you. Like
Yeah. Tree grab has become a kind of weird, useless ability.
yeah. I don't know. I would really like to see that one in a pro game. I think this all of these make me excited because the synth is really the coolest part. I know we've mentioned it a couple times, but it is truly the game changer. Even that Grimstroke one, right? You're on a team that does some Roshan damage pretty early on. You get third Rosh at like 30, 35 minutes. If you get lucky and get that synth, that's a fucking game changer right there. You know, like even on the supports now, it's super relevant. These supports that have what are, kind of impressive Aghanims or like these crazy level 25 talents. It's like, God, I could see games getting there now.
Yeah, the synth is the big deal. Because before we just used to always have to say, well, I mean, if you have an Alk on the team, it's good. And now it's just like, okay, every game this could happen. Like there's some heroes like I think Death Prophet getting the egg synth sounds insane.
Yep.
I mean, this is so good that you can probably just build it. I think is going to become the standard for the hero. But like, what if you didn't build it and then you just got synth on this hero as well? Like that just seems unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. I have trouble not seeing Roche becoming like a higher priority in some of these games where this is like Roche 3 now has potential to be a crazy game changer. Roche 4 just it presents such an unbelievable advantage. So back to the top of the list, one of the ones that jumped out at me. We're getting down to like kind of the skinny here, but the Arc Warden one. Did you catch that? Runeforge.
Well, let me tell you a story, my friend, of my coaching here. Last night, I had an Alchemist Arc Warden team who they put a jungle Alch who gave the first scepter to the Arc Warden, and then the Arc Warden made his very first rune, which was a bounty rune, to his credit. So they made bounty runes and got the bonus. It was pretty funny. They lost, but it was pretty comical. It was an immortal stack. They were kind of clowning a little bit, but it was impressive.
I mean, so it's a 60-second cooldown, and it just makes a random rune. Could be a bounty, could be a power.
So you get 2 of them with your clone.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You get 2. Good call. Yeah. I cannot tell if this is good. I really can't. Yeah. It sounds...
Chances are the other 4 heroes on your team are going to have better Aghanims.
Yeah. But I keep thinking about, like, dude, this is just Harry Potter jelly beans, dude. You're just picking them out until you get that double damage, and then... Because the rune isn't on you. You're just spawning runes, right?
No, it's on you.
Oh, it's only on you.
Yeah. You just make a rune right in front of your hero or your clone.
But someone else can pick it up, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're just rolling the dice to get that double damage at 45 minutes. Then all of a sudden, your Juggernaut's knocking on the front door, and okay, game's fucking like. You have this crazy ability to create win condition runes. Every 60 seconds, you can make 2 runes. So if you have a bottle or 2 on your team, just like, all right, well, let's give our Storm Spirit a regen, and we'll give our Terrorblade a double damage. Like, if you're at a stalemate, what better way to break the game open? And then you can pick up the regular runes. You get 2 double damages, a regen, and a haste. How do you lose that fucking team fight?
It definitely comes back to, again, though, the build order and just being like, how would you ever fit an Ags? Like, it's synth, and then whenever you're time with the synth, though, the problem is you then have to take into account the other 4 heroes on your team and the odds that this hero deserves the synth. You know?
I hear you. I'm just saying.
I'm not putting Arc Warden very high on the list.
No, me neither. I think this one is like on average, not that good, but it has the highest like variance where you buy it, you get those like 2 double damage runes, and the game just fucking ends because you have crazy power runes right in front of you when you can just like cripple them.
Oh,
you know? How about invisibility runes? You're just spawning invis runes.
I have something here.
Okay.
I personally think that the worst Aghanim Scepter somehow actually became worse. I'm pretty sure that Abaddon has the worst Aghanims in the game. I think he had the worst Aghanims before. I thought that item was just stupid. It makes no sense to me. Like, before, it was already pretty bad. So it was like, when it was active, I believe it took 50% of the damage from all your teammates, but the problem was that, number one, it has to be active. It's not passive whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And then, number two, it increased the duration, which was great and everything, but Abaddon has become, like, he's not a core hero anymore. He hasn't been a core hero for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So being right in the middle of the fight, not standing back and getting shields off and stuff, is just not going to be good for your team. And now somehow, this one is just awful. Like, I thought I misread it at first, but your ult has to be active. And then anytime an ally takes more than 525 damage while within 1600 range of your Abaddon, while your ultimate is active, again, I repeat, they get 1 mist coil fired out at them. Sucks. It's terrible.
I
think it's awful.
I'm with you. I had the exact same reaction. I actually thought it was just a passive in general, that borrowed time was now this thing that anytime someone is around you, you're auto healing as they take damage. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool, because
that's what I thought.
Those automatic things actually add up way more than you realize, because it happens instantly. It's robotic. You don't have to think about it. Like, that shit could be a game changer if the other team isn't bursting down, especially if it has like a short cooldown. Let's say it's like a 4-second cooldown. You're fucking spamming that on your friends. With the ultimate on is like, what's the uptime on that? Like 12% or something? Like,
no, even worse than that. I mean, it extends to 9 seconds, I think, with Aghanims. I'll double check.
And what's the cooldown? Like 60 seconds or something? So, but like the uptime is awful.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Cooldown's 40 seconds that late. It's actually only 7 seconds at max with the Aghanims. Jeez.
Okay,
right,
so yeah, it's like 15%, 20%, somewhere in there. It's not as bad as I thought, but still pretty awful.
It's really strange.
And Mist Coil has a pretty slow projectile time as well. That's the other thing. It's not like it's some instant heal. You're like watching these little coils fly at you from across the map. Like, it's not an instant heal. They could still kill you before the Mist Coil. Anyone watching this stream who's ever played Abaddon before in any role has been in that moment where you go to Mist Coil somebody and they die while the thing's in the fucking air. Like, I'm with you. I don't get this.
It actually is pretty on par. People are mentioning the Dazzle eggs. They're incredibly similar, I would say. They're both very good in one specific scenario of your entire team is dying in one hit and somehow you got off this thing.
Yep.
And in that case, it might work. This is probably better than Shallow Grave in those cases. Shallow Grave, you're also just at 1 HP, whereas at least this thing would then keep healing you. But
yeah,
it seems pretty bad.
No, I was actually going to say, I think of all the Aghanims now, if we're doing power rankings, I was going to say Dazzles might actually be the worst overall.
Is there any other contenders, chat? You guys, anything worse than Dazzle? Now is your time.
Yeah, let's help Sunsfan write his power rankings here.
Oh, yes. The OD one is worth mentioning. I think OD's better. I would rather have 2 charges of Astral than Shallow Grave AoE.
I would too.
So here's the thing about Lycan, guys. At least Lycan passively pushes the lanes. I think it might still be better than Dazzle.
Yeah. I also kind of agree. I think the Lycan one is lame, but again, that automated stuff does really add up. And you got to remember, creep equilibrium is this weird thing, and it doesn't take much to shift it. So I think Trent is right in the sense that, like, there are going to be those games where you're fighting around this epic Roche, and Lycan has an Ags, and it's Roche 4, and this is the moment, and you're all there because the fight could break out at any time.
Oh.
And Lycan's just pushing you out.
Oh, God. What are you guys talking about with Wind Ranger? They reworked her Scepter? I didn't even know.
Did they? I didn't know either. Where is it?
Reworked Scepter now adds 2 charges to Wind Run and increases movement speed by 45%. Focus fire cooldown reduced from 70 to 70, 50, 30. So she doesn't have like 2. She can't focus fire twice in a team fight anymore? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
We
Oh,
might have a
shit,
new
guys.
contender. Dude, I totally missed that one as well. I see it now, but it's this quick little one line, just like, yeah, we just added 2 charges to wind run and it increases movement speeds. No big deal. You're fast.
Wait, what?
That's pretty garbage.
It might still be better than Shallow Grave, though. I mean, even though this is dramatically worse than her previous eggs, Shallow Grave AoE is still really bad.
Does adding 2 charges mean that it's now at 3 charges total or 2 charges total? Because 3 charges is
I
kind
assume
of
3 charges total.
that's kind of a lot. Maybe it's not that bad. I think it's better. Yeah, I'm still with you. I'm trying to like consider.
God, this is so funny. I can't believe I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I only got to end by the time I had to start casting, so then I was quickly going through it. Oh, the Clinks one is pretty bad. Oh, that's the you drop 2 out of your invis, right? I mean, at least that's like playable. I don't know, you can farm fast with that. Still better than Shallow Grave.
What does Magnus's do?
Oh, it's 2 charges. Oh. Well, then that's now adds 2 charges. Oh, okay. I guess it's only 2 charges.
Okay, it's still kind of okay. What is the Magnus eggs? It didn't change. I just can't remember what it is.
The Magnus one, he does the shockwave thing. It like goes forward and comes back. It's pretty bad.
Oh, I guess
They increased the max range though.
It's
and
okay,
the speed.
creep clear. But
Well, it only does half damage to creeps as well.
Okay, it's pretty awful. It's pretty awful.
It was an odd one. Yeah, the Beastmaster one sounds fun. I want to make that one work with like an IO or something. Thank God IO got the talent moved to level 20 and not 15.
Yeah. My other one, I think Chen is in a cool place now. It has nothing to do with Aghanims, but Divine Favor now being an aura, I thought that was kind of cool. So now you just have an AoE aura healing amplification. That actually gives Chen like a unique thing.
I believe his win rate actually went up too. He jumped from 41.6% instantly to 50.58.
Wow.
So he went up 9% and has stabilized around there.
Okay.
Instantly. And these are people who probably don't play Chen.
Dude, I mean, that actually makes a lot of sense because it's a fucking aura. It doesn't get easier than that. You know, if
exactly.
You combo that with a Necro or a Dazzle or anybody else, it's just like, wow. I wonder how that interacts with Holy Locket. Is it diminishing returns to buy a Holy Locket on Chen, or is it actually really good?
I don't know. I would have to look at that.
Well, no, because it only heals your healing output, not... Yeah, okay, probably not. I think I'm on the wrong train of thought with that one. I want to try DK also. That's like... when I was planning on playing pubs tonight instead of casting, I wanted to play some DK games and get some level 4 Elder Dragon form, dude. The Black Dragon.
It looks pretty sick. I like how they just like painted one of the cosmetics just straight up black.
I loved it. I just think it's a cool... It's like one of the most suggested concepts ever for Dota. I was like, give DK an Ags, just give him another dragon form. It'll be awesome. Trust us.
No, should have been permanent. Permanent dragon form, dude. I'm disappointed.
Come good.
On.
Too good.
I know. It's definitely way too good with synth, unfortunately.
Yeah. But I think this is pretty awesome. 30% magic resistance, increases attack range to 600, pretty far, and a 50% higher corrosive damage. So, like, dude, you're sieging like an absolute animal.
It looks like SCCC played a game of it just yesterday, actually, and he went Blink, BKB, Halberd into Ags after, and right around that Aghanim. Wow. So the game was actually even. He bought an Aghanims, and they instantly just started winning. That's pretty funny.
Wow.
Probably had nothing to do with the Ags, but, you know, Monet also bought an Aghanims at the exact same. Wow. So Monet on a Morphling and SCCC. Man, how is this pub fair? Hold on, I'll post it in chat. I would definitely want to be on the Dire. Have SCCC and Monet on your team. They both got Ags on Morph and DK at 34 minutes. That's pretty funny. Nice. And then the game just ends. Then they just spiral out of control. Shout out to Morph. Morph, I've said this a couple times. I just want to thank the Dota 2 team for making Morphling the single greatest rework in the history of Dota 2. Morphling is so cool now. Morphling used to be one of the absolute lamest heroes. Of course, he had his moments in TI and everything where he was kind of cool, and like TI 1 and TI 2. I wasn't around those days, but that was kind of interesting. But then he got gutted and became nothing but a split push machine. All he did was split push one area, and then he would go back to his little Morphling thing. He basically just played Haunt. Now, new Morphling, this Aghanim Scepter, the whole idea is you're just carry Rubik. That is what he has become. You are supposed to, like, anything you can do, I can do better as a core role. Oh, this hero's so cool now, man.
He's fun to watch, but I absolutely hate him. Good Morphling players are so obnoxious to play against. I think he, for a long time, like, Invoker and Meepo were kind of those notorious most broken Dota 2 heroes that, like,
if you were good.
Yeah, if you're playing against somebody who's really a master at one of those heroes, it's just not fun. They completely cripple your gameplay. You're just stuck in nets. You're just dying from across the map. You're taking huge damage. You're disabled. Morphling to me is that times 2, especially now with this Ags upgrade. You get 35% cooldown reduction, 50% mana cost reduction, and plus 600 cast range on any spells you get while morphed. As if he needed a buff. As if,
wait,
like,
35% cooldown reduction on Dark Willow. I mean, you guys are playing with Dark Willow right now. Are you infinitely in Shadow Realm? What's the cooldown on Shadow Realm? If you buy an Axe, it just becomes Dark Willow.
That's
What is the cooldown? It's 14 seconds, and the duration is 5. Oh my god, that is actually insane.
It's close. It's not 100%, but that's
it's like it's almost like 50% uptime though. That is so crazy.
That's bananas. But don't worry, dude. Morph no longer dispels your hero, so big nerfs there for the Morphling.
Hey, that was a pretty big nerf. Just saying.
I mean, it helps.
It means you can't rush E-Blade that safely.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you go E-Blade without any sort of dispel and they just buy Spirit Vessel, you just lose.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I was sort of being facetious, but you're right. It is sort of a nerf, but I still think, like, that just Morphling is just, he is the most broken hero right now. The hardest to be broken with, I would say. Like, I can't even wrap my head around attempting to play Morphling the way, because Rubik is more one-dimensional in that sense. I like that analogy, but you're stealing one spell at a time and then using it, and like, okay, it's on cooldown, I'm going to look for another spell. Like, you have a very straightforward process in comparison that you're rinsing and repeating depending on what spells you get. Morphling is like you steal 3 spells at once, and you have another health bar. You have an entire second health bar to manage.
Think about how much 600 cast range breaks some spells. That is such an unbelievable Aghanims.
Yeah. Like,
holy shit.
Basically any disable/stun. Like 600.
I'm just playing Morphling. I've ever played carry now. I'm only ever playing Morphling. This hero is so fun.
I mean, dude, does this justify like some ice position 3 Morphling? Just throw him off lane?
I don't know. I was thinking the same thing, honestly. I think the Dispel makes it a little bit tougher. Well, no, I'll have to experiment with some builds. It's definitely possible, though. It might depend on the enemy.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been a wild patch. Okay, last one. This is another hero that I know you're a big fan of, the Night Stalker. AoE Void.
Ooh, yes.
Pretty cool. This one I thought could be actually very useful. Also reduces the cooldown by 2 seconds. So that's a pretty serious damage increase. AoE, increased mini stun, and cooldown reduction. Fuck yeah.
I need to actually test this one because I need to see like how it functions. I'm gonna quickly jump into my client here. I saw 1437 was tweeting about it, and he said he thought it looked absolutely bonkers and looks like it's probably like Rush quality again. Have we talked about IO? We have not talked about IO. That one was interesting.
The spirits? Like permanent spirits?
Permanent spirits.
Yeah. It's all right. I
saw some people were like cheesing it where you could drop it and then the spirits would instantly die. So then you could just like farm infinitely. It's pretty funny.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I think Wisp is a hero that you think of naturally as this kind of like half hero that buffs up other heroes and like doesn't really do damage. It's a hard support. The spirits do a shitload of damage actually, and you can farm very fast with that hero. You can farm neutrals. You can play like a core-esque Wisp in lower pubs and actually do some totally ridiculous shit if you know the limits of the hero. And I think this Aghanims makes that more viable, but you know, your classic Wisp game, I don't really see this being a high priority synth Ags.
All right, this Night Stalker Ags is actually crazy. Holy moly.
That one, yes. I would agree.
That AoE is humongous. I did not appreciate the AoE just reading it. That is a giant AoE. My goodness. And then think about that. You're almost permanently slowing like everyone.
What's the cooldown with the -2?
It's a 4-second duration on the slow of 50% on a 6-second CD.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you can farm really fast. It is very mana intensive though. That's the only problem. So farming won't be that easy, but pretty good looking, have to say.
Itemize for it, dude. Is
Huh.
Night Stalker now a Sanj Kaya kind of hero?
No, because you still gotta buy like Agnums.
You
I
still
don't know
have
if you can. He's not that rich of a boy. I don't know. I'm curious to see what the pros will do. But what a glorious patch, guys.
Yeah.
This is exciting. I can't wait to just play some Dota. But I'm just looking forward to watching Dota too. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun doing our casting this week.
Hell yeah. No, this is perfect, dude. I feel lucky to get a casting gig for like a pretty high profile tournament, not some like qualifiers or something, and actually get to see teams go at it with all these new changes. This is the most exciting time to watch content when a patch comes out. It's also the most fun to play. I'm kind of with you. All right. Well,
So
of course,
we'll basically be the nighttime show to Birmingham, I believe, right? So when Birmingham ends every night,
yeah,
you guys will be able to watch us.
yeah,
But
you're
we
right.
start first. Haha.
You're right. So, yeah, I guess with that said, what's the name of that tournament? Actually, let's give it a little plug here. The We
The
Play?
tug of the tug of war.
Tug
Dire.
of War. That's it. I knew it was We
We are
Play.
Tug of War Dire Asia, so this will be you and me right here. And then Tug of War Dire America will be your boys BSJ and Juraskal, you guys love. We'll be casting this part of it. So it'll be a lot of fun.
So, okay. All right. I am looking forward to it. And it starts very soon. I see them chatting away and starting to get prepared for the whole thing to kick off.
Yeah, Observer Suns fan will be kicking it off, and I'm sure there'll be lots of fun with that. So enjoy that.
Dude, I can't believe I fucked up that schedule. I'm going to go take a sleep aid and pass out. Like, this is...
I kind of figured you might.
I actually fucked up. I don't know if Suns fan explained it wrong or if I was not listening, but
No,
I
I got
did
you,
not
dude.
think that this was an America and an Asia thing. I thought we were sharing the coverage of America. So
I was wondering why you were so nonchalantly getting us up in the middle of the night for 6 days, and I was just like, man, doesn't like BSJ and Draskell live on that time zone anyway? Why are we the ones switching that? I was like, well, whatever. Maybe that's what they wanted. I don't really care. I can make it work.
I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the fuck happened. So what time do we actually start? I'm really struggling with this. What?
We start at midnight Eastern tonight.
Fuck. Okay. Midnight Eastern?
Yeah. So you remember that original graphic that he sent out? If you notice, it says first day 28:05:19, but when you look, it says broadcast starts at 27:05 with the 2 o'clock Pacific, which is what's happening for Draskell and BSJ. so that's what happened to you.
Oh man. All right. So you're 100% sure that you're right about this, right?
Dude, they're starting in like 2 hours.
So how many are we casting? 2 series or 4 series?
2 series.
2. Okay, so it's just 2 series per night. Okay. All right. I'm with it.
Welcome back from the mountains.
Holy shit. Yeah, I really did just retreat to the mountains. So what's our Okay, yeah, 2 series a night. All right. Well, there you go, folks. We got this scheduled down. We're going to do it. So quick housekeeping. Excited to announce the podcast is finally on Spotify. I've been struggling to get this fucking podcast on Spotify for ages, and we've finally done it. So rejoice, support it. If you're looking for the audio only, check it out over. I don't know. Oh, there we go. I don't know. Why is my link not going through? There we go. Check it out on Spotify. It's there. Audio-only episodes will go up. You can also find them on Zyori.tv. Another shout-out to Rivalry.com, the first official sponsor of the Trent Zyori podcast. Here's to many more. Go check them out. Follow the links in either Twitch chat or below the stream. That'll use our affiliate link and get us credit for your tracking. Get on the Thunderdome. I think it's open for another 8 hours or so for ESL. And next podcast, we'll see what the results were like for myself and Trent, and we'll see who came out ahead. So support those that are supporting the content creators. It's important, boys and girls. But that's it. We're done. We'll be back for some casting over on the We Play channel this week, and then we'll get another podcast scheduled before too long. A lot of Dota coming up, boys and girls. Enjoy it. We'll see you next time.